Well, the last story that we're going to read is Brer Rabbit and the Gizzard Eater. This is one of Emily Anna's favorites. One evening, Brer Rabbit was invited to a Halloween party way over across the river. Whilst they was there toasting marshmallows and bobbing for apples, a great rain poured down. By the time Brer Rabbit left the party, it was late in the night. Now the rain had stopped, but the river was all swole up. The bridge was broke, and their ferry wasn't running. Brer Rabbit sat down on the riverbank trying to study out a way to go across and get home. He studied and studied. That river looked wide, and the water in it looked like the deepest, wettest water he ever laid eyes on. Brer Rabbit don't like it. Maybe somebody round here got a boat, he say to himself. I'll call out and ask. Hey, hey-o, he holler into the darkness. Hello, anybody got a boat? Hey-o, hey. Nobody answered. Brer Rabbit holler again and again. He holler so loud and so long that he woke up Brer Alligator, stretched out in his muddy bed in the river grass just below. Who's that making all the racket up there? He shout. What do you want? It's Brer Rabbit. I want a boat. Brer Rabbit, huh? Well, what you want a boat for this time of night? Brer Alligator crawl out from his bed and he rise up to the top of the water. He float there backwards and forwards like he don't weigh more than a feather. I want a boat to carry me across this wet river, say Brer Rabbit. Too bad there ain't no boat here. But wait a minute now. I'll tell you what I'll do, Brer Rabbit. I'll carry you across the river myself. Brer Rabbit, he's sort of surprised at this, 'cause he ain't exactly what you might call a friend of that Brer Alligator. And there ain't never been any loving words nor Christmas presents circling around betwixt the rabbit and the alligator family. Howsomever, Brer Rabbit want to get across that river mighty bad. Thank you, Brer Gator, he say. Just how deep is that water you're floating in? This river is so deep, Brer Gator answered, that if you was to fall in right now, it would be tomorrow morning before you'd touch the bottom. This make Brer Rabbit feel like he's going to faint dead away. Well, Brer Gator, he say, how you figuring to take me across this deep river? Brer Gator, he blow a bubble or two out of his nose. I'll carry you across on my back, of course. Brer Rabbit, he think and he think, and the more he think, the more he don't like this idea. But he gotta get to the other side of that river. Brer Gator, he said, I believe I'll accept your invitation and go along with you. Please be so kind as to drive yourself up a little closer to the bank so I won't slip while I'm getting on. Brer Gator, he drift up by the side of the bank and he float there, with his two eyes shining like little red lights and a big broad smile on his face. Now Brer Rabbit noticed that when that alligator smile, his mouth have a double row of monstrous sharp tooths that stretch all the way back to his ears. This make Brer Rabbit shake and shiver like he was having a chill. He look up and he look down, he look all around, but he don't see no boat, nor no floating log to help him get across that river. I don't see nothing except Brer Alligator. Brer Alligator, he say, your back is rough with humps and bumps. How am I going to ride it? Easy, say Brer Gator. Just fit your foots on the humps and the bumps and brace yourself. Then just sit there easy, like you was riding a water horse. Well, sir, Brer Rabbit got on. But he no sooner got on than he wished mighty hard he was off. That alligator, he slipped through the water like he was greased. Now, of course, Brer Rabbit keep his eyes wide open, and pretty soon he noticed that Brer Alligator wasn't steering for the other side of the river at all. He was steering for some place very far off in the dark. "Why, this alligator's up to something," he said to himself. "What's the matter with you, Brer Gator? You ain't steering very well," he sing out. "Or maybe you forgot you was taking me across to the other side of the river." "Forgot?" snort Brer Gator. "I ain't forgot nothing." Now Brer Gator turned his head all the way around and grinned at Brer Rabbit. "Especially I ain't forgot the day that you set the grass on fire here by the river and I got burned. That's the reason my back is so rough, Brer Rabbit, and that's the reason I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting a long, long time. Well, now I've got you." Brer Gator opened up his great mouth and he laughed. When Brer Rabbit looked down into that big open alligator mouth, it seemed like he see more tooths than there was stars in the sky. Then he looked down in the deep, dark water gurgling all around. Brer Rabbit trembled. He can't speak a word, 'cause the cold fear was clutching at his windpipe. Brer Gator, he keep on laughing and slipping along through the water. "Brer Rabbit," he say, "I'm taking you way off in the slippery, sloppery slushes, and when I get there, I'm gonna goozle out your gizzard." Right then, Brer Rabbit's thinking machine started working fast. Then the lightning struck it. He clear up his throat and he kind of chuckled. "Well, if it's a gizzard you want, it's a mighty lucky thing you met up with me." Now Brer Gator sort of puzzled, 'cause he wasn't expecting to hear Brer Rabbit chuckle. He was expecting to hear him boo-hoo. "Lucky? What do you mean, lucky?" "Just this, Brer Gator, since it's a gizzard you want, I've got something worth your while. I ain't just got one gizzard, I got two." "Two gizzards?" Now Brer Gator terrible puzzled, and he kind of curious about Brer Rabbit's two gizzards. "Why you got two? How comes that?" "I don't know why, Brer Gator. All I know is I got 'em." "Well, you ain't gonna have 'em very long," say Brer Gator, "'cause I'm gonna goozle 'em out." "I'm afraid you can't do that," say Brer Rabbit, "'cause I ain't got my gizzards here." "You ain't got 'em here?" Now Brer Gator, getting so curious about those two gizzards, he began to forget about being so mad. Why, what in the world do you mean, Brer Rabbit? You mean you took your gizzards out and left 'em somewheres?" Brer Rabbit snicker, acting like he think Brer Gator was such a numbskull sort of creature. "Course I took out my gizzards out. It's Halloween. Who ever heard of a rabbit going to a Halloween party with his gizzards in?" Now Brer Gator go crazy puzzled in his mind. Was all mixed up. He don't understand about this gizzard business, and he never been invited to a Halloween party, so he doesn't suspicion that Brer Rabbit was up to any trick. "Well, Brer Rabbit," he say, where'd you leave your gizzards when you took 'em out?" "I hid 'em, Brer Gator, right over there in the trunk of a big hollow tree." Brer Rabbit point through the dark woods to the other side of the river, just where he wanted to go. Well, sir, Brer Gator, he can't wait another minute to get a hold of those gizzards. He whirl around in the water and steer for the woods, swimming along as fast as he can. Soon as they get up close to the land, Brer Rabbit make a jump for the dry, solid ground. "Come on, Brer Gator," he yelled. "This is the way. Just follow me." With that, Brer Rabbit just disappeared into the dark. Brer Gator, he scrambled up the bank and out, but of course he ain't fast enough to follow Brer Rabbit. Right away he get lost, and for as far as I know, that alligator is still thrashing around in those woods somewhere, hunting for Brer Rabbit, a holler tree, and two gizzards that ain't there.